So it's Wednesday, the 9th of October 2024, another NAS and ES journal. I think it's going to be a pretty decent day today if the volatility is right. We haven't got any high impact news that would really, make it a nicer trading day. What am I doing for Forex Factory? Sorry. Yeah, so again, see, look, we've got news at 3 p.m. I think it's 3 p.m. It's 4, 5, 6, 2 p.m. New York time, 7 p.m. London time. Obviously, I'm in London, so yeah. So I won't be trading that. I'll be trading the AM session. That's at 3:30 p.m. So we've got a little bit of volatility, I think, today. Nothing major though. So if we go to what am I doing? We go to the charts. Cool. So if you remember that big move up from yesterday, we can now see that we have caused a big 4-hour leg. Even the 1 hour is a big move up. So what we can see from that is now we've got several fair value gaps. We've already filled in London session this fair value gap, but we've got several inefficiencies that need filling. So we've got one here, and also on the 4-hour range, equilibrium has not been met. So this 4-hour price range is not balanced. So I personally feel that either two things are going to happen, but in New York Open, hopefully price starts to come down into this area, or price will sweep the weekly high and then decide to come down. Because what I can say is, I've noticed we swept this this high right here, but not the weekly highs here. And I think that's probably done on purpose to save it for the for a big push up from an area here. So if we get that push down, now we've got a target, say weekly highs. Obviously, I don't think I'll take a trade and target all the way up there, but there's a potential target to take up there. I do think we are bullish. There's a lot of buy-side liquidity that needs taken, because the mistake I made yesterday pre-market was I noticed down here price actually swept a lot of sell-side liquidity, swept daily previous lows, swept these lows here. So we swept a lot of sell side, and then we get that big push up. Really, I should have been looking for continuation setups, but it is what it is at the end of the day. And also we are now officially got that proper rejection off of this weekly fair value gap. So yeah, that's my intention. Same with ES, really. Rejects off that weekly fair value gap, but instead we didn't sweep the daily previous high from, obviously yesterday we didn't sweep the daily previous high. So this is the daily previous high now. So now we can see there's a lot of external liquidity that can be swept. And considering we, again, on ES, right, this low here, swept this low. Did it sweep this low? No, it didn't sweep this low, but it swept this low here. So again, we swept a lot of sell-side liquidity, which I needed to realise that's what made the big push up to seek buy side. So ES and NAS are very similar, but I'm liking the look of NAS a little bit more, because although this may look like nothing, above weekly highs we've actually got a 1 hour order block, which is actually quite important. So if we get that push up to there in New York Open and then a push down, I'd be happy to trade the retracement down, or if we just come down here, I'd happy to trade the continuation in the higher time frame. So I think today would be a reasonably good day to trade. Also, if we are going to go down here, obviously we're going to be below midnight open price. All the confluences align and add up, which would be very nice. So that's my intentions on today. I think we're bullish. It hasn't been the best week, but hasn't been the worst week. So yeah, yesterday, made a few mistakes, but ended up even losing less than 1% yesterday. So I'm happy with the risk management discipline, and yeah, that's that. I mean, the second trade setup was A+. So that should have been maybe the only trade I should have taken. That was a really good trade. Stopped out break even, that's fine. But yeah, it's one of them things. So yeah, that's the analysis for now. We've got what, 7, 8. We've got 3.5 hours to New York Open, so a lot of things can happen in that time. So yeah, I will be back for then. Alright, it's just over 10 minutes till New York Open. I just want to say not much has happened pre-market. I mean, we've had this kind of downward accumulation, consolidation kind of phase here, but nothing major, nothing interesting. We swept Asia highs. Now what I want to see is possibly, there's two ways I'm going to trade today, and probably two only. We get the sweep of weekly highs in this 1 hour order block, and we look for a short as a retracement down into this equilibrium area, or we don't get that yet and we end up going down. We end up going down to equilibrium or the range, and then we look for longs. I could, in New York Open, if I see a smart enough setup from this sweep of liquidity here, and then a good push down, you know, a displacement, the bearish displacement, then I might consider shorts. But it's all just about being careful. And yeah, that's that really. So yeah, I'll be back in about 10 minutes and we'll see what happens. Okay, it's New York Open, and it's come across that on the 15-minute Asia highs, we've wicked it, we've closed below. It's very important to look at now. If we look at on the 5-minute, we've had a market structure shift. If this 5-minute candle closes below this previous low on the 1-minute, the same thing. If we close below, we get a market structure shift. 1 minute, 5-minute was in the same place. As you can see, that's 2-minute, 3-minute, and 5-minute. Now, if we inverse this fair value gap, I think I'll start to look for shorts. Considering we have a breaker block here as well. But again, I'm just going to be very laid back today. I'm not going to put too much pressure on the trading and just be patient. You see here, this is aligning pretty well with the order block. So yeah. Just have to be careful as we're rejecting off this 5-minute order block. But it's looking good at the moment. Okay. Interesting. Be nice if we got this 15-minute market structure shift as well. Obviously, price could enter this fair value gap here, but I don't. It could enter there. It could be a good entry, but I like the thought of the entry here at equilibrium. I want to be patient for it as well. I'm not doing this thing anymore where I'm entering at, which is a decent place to enter, but I want to enter at a place that really goes with my rules better, at equilibrium of the 3-minute, 5-minute range, 1-minute range, 5-minute range, all that kind of stuff. I don't want, you know, that's how I personally see it. So I know everything is balanced up here, so there's no reason to come back, in my opinion. See, as it's rejecting off, that's fine. If we don't get tapped in, we don't get tapped in. It is what it is. I just would personally like to see equilibrium of this area to be hit. That means, again, look, we're getting the rejection. It's probably just going to go my direction. That's fine. I could have entered here, but I like to have my stops at the highs, and now I'm trying to be really strict to my entries rather than just, you know, going for random, you know, not random, but going for riskier entries, if that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, if I did enter here, the price would have gone down really quickly. But it is what it is. But what I like to also say is we actually are still leaving a fair value gap up here, which can be tapped into. Oh, seem to have some technical difficulties now. Something wrong with my connection, so I'll be back in 1 second. Really quickly notice how we don't close below this low. We have left equal lows here, but just notice how we haven't closed below this low. Now I'm going to be looking at this fair value gap here. Which could be a good place to trade from. Hasn't done it yet. Interesting price action, I must say. But yeah. I'm not going to enter yet. Need more confirmation. All time frames we've wicked it. We haven't closed below it. To me, that's we don't have the confirmation to enter. Right, so we've entered this fair value gap now. Cool, that has been filled. Equilibrium of the range is officially filled. Like a break below here. I want now. What I want is a break below here. A close below, and then I'll start looking. Before we know, this could be just an internal liquidity sweep. So it's just good to be careful. See what I'm saying? How it's going up. I mean, we could still get rejection off this inverse fair value gap. 5 minute inverse, we could get rejection from it, or this breaker block here. Or this 1 minute order block as well. But if I would have entered, see what's happened. And this is why wick below a previous low shows the difference between a wick and a close. A close shows the intentions, a wick shows the intentions. Clearly the wick showed the intention of it, just a sweep of internal liquidity to take up some buy side PDRAs. And look, I would have been stopped out more than likely. I mean, we're now at this 5 minute order block. Let's see what happens here. So do you see how I've saved myself just by looking at the wicks, knowing that it's not a valid entry yet, and it's not a valid breaker structure. See, now this could be a potential retracement or a push from that order block, which is actually technically respecting that breaker as well. This fair value gap here. First one we want to see is that inversed, then the breaker structure down here. ES, we've got a SMT divergence now. Let's quickly just mark that out because that is very important. Right, I'm going to mark it on my other screen here. Cool, and that there. See, ES actually broke this high, whereas NAS didn't. Now we're getting this push down, as we see. So we are seeing some bearish intentions here. Right, we've inversed this fair value gap. That's good. It's good to see. But what I need to see is some valid market structure shifts, not this wick stuff. Because if we wick it, it just shows the intentions of taking sell stops. Preferably, I want to see a break below here. Preferably, just on the 15 minutes to confirm market structure shift. That'd be very nice to see. Okay, we're getting this pushed down now. So I wouldn't have been stopped out if I didn't enter that trade, but I've been very close to. Okay, interesting. Okay, I'm only waiting for this 15-minute candle to close, then I'll consider anything. Because we've got this 15-minute order block here, price can go into as well. Which we just have to be careful over. And look, see, we've wicked it. Not valid to me. Fine, in the lower time frame, we've wicked it, but we've closed underneath it. But these equal lows have been wicked. Now we're pushing up. This is not a valid setup. See, I've learnt this through my mistakes so many times. Even if price does go to the direction I want it to go to, it's just not a valid setup. There's no valid setup there. So yeah, that's how I see it. That is the way I trade. And I think doing it in this passive and strict way is a good way to save yourself a few losses, really, in my opinion. Interesting. 2 minute we've closed below it. 1 minute we have ES is still looking bullish, where NAS is looking very bearish. But it just isn't an A+ setup, because I need a high. I know Asia highs is a good form of liquidity to be swept, but I need something better than that, personally. Let's do it. No, I'm not doing it. I'm being too emotional about this, but it's just not an A+ setup, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's not an A+ setup. And if I don't have confidence in the trade, then why should I enter? Is how I see it. I know price is probably going to go to my direction, but I need to stop entering trades that are not, you know, valid setups. That are not A+ setups. Sorry. And the inverse is 2-minute fair value gap as well, which is a bit worrying. And 1 minute we haven't, obviously. See, again, we've whipped this area. This is why it's not valid to me. I know it looks like I'm actually having poor emotions, but at least I think I'm keeping my discipline in place. I might put a limit there, but I'm stopping myself because I'm thinking, no, Mitchell, it's not a valid trade. So I know there's a positive and negative to it, because I'm constantly changing my mind. But when there's a trade that I know is A+, I won't be hesitant to enter. If I'm hesitant like I am now, then I shouldn't enter. That's what I've learned. If you're hesitant, then you don't trust the setup. So that's my opinion on it. But I am worried about this 15-minute order block here. I'm a bit worried about that because that is also at below midnight opening price. Again, a rejection off this 5-minute inversion fair value gap. But do you see, even on the 3-minute, we don't close below it. Several wicks. Swept those equal lows and pushed up. 1 minute price action is very bearish, but you need to look at the higher time frame. Even 5 minutes is high time frame, you know, and it's just not. The constant wicks is worrying. And the fact that when it comes down to that point, it likes to have a sharp push up, which to me again is worrying. But what I think we could see is price will enter below midnight opening price into this 15/30 minute order block. I don't know if it's a 1 hour one. Yeah, 1 hour order block as well. And what we could see from that is a push to weekly highs or daily previous high, which I will mark out now, which I stupidly haven't marked out, but I'm focusing on NAS today. I like the look of NAS more than anything else, but ES is looking bullish at the moment. Daily high. Okay. And I want to also remind that we are rejecting off this 4-hour bullish fair value gap. I do think price needs to go lower today, in my opinion, to reach equilibrium with the range. Although I do personally feel that the daily weekly high is more likely going to get swept today as well. ES, if we look, price action is much more bullish than MAS. I'll put that as a market structure shift. I meant to put it as an SMT. But we had that bearish SMT divergence, which is now probably pushing down. But yeah, I will be back for anything interesting. Alright, so at the moment NAS isn't really giving me what I'm looking for, but although I said earlier I'm primarily focused on NAS, I am still looking at ES. I'm noticing that it's approaching the daily previous high. Now what that means for me is once we sweep this daily previous high, and hopefully this high as well, which was the initial daily previous high of the day before yesterday, I would like to see that we sweep both of this, and considering that we haven't balanced the 4 hour range, I think it goes to show that we've got a lot of fair value gaps down here that needs to be filled. Not only that, we've got a lot of sell-side liquidity needs to be swept as well. I'm going to mark this out as an important area. But as we see here, obviously equilibrium will be a bit higher now, because if it sweeps this zone here, then equilibrium here will probably be around here somewhere. But that is my intentions right now, is to look at this daily previous high, the sweep of it, potentially a sweep of this high as well. Be nice to see that. I'll get it pushed down. If we look on NAS, good thing I didn't enter the trade right. This literally the thing that saved me is wicks. So as we see, I wouldn't have been stopped out yet, but we can see the price action is pretty disgusting. I did have a rejection of this 1 minute fair value gap, but somewhat of a 1 minute order block has pushed it up to where it's going now. Cool. So ES, what's happening here? Haven't swept it yet, but we've touched it. Yeah, we haven't swept it yet. And as we see, price does have a reaction off the area because there's a lot of orders in this area. We have a lot of liquidity pool traders and a lot of support and resistance traders probably have orders in this area. But obviously the market makers do as well. I'm going to get rid of a lot of this drawing because it's getting all disgustingly muddy. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that too, get rid of that, keep that for now. It's a bit annoying. I want to see a proper sweep before anything happens, like a proper sweep from that area. Okay, what's happened? Nothing yet. Right, NAS seems to want to go up now. See, we kind of had a reaction off this 1 hour fair value gap here. Obviously it's coming below, but it's width below, so it makes the fair value gap valid. If you want to look at specifics, you've got this fair value gap here as well. But I kind of primarily focus on ES now. I want to see this sweep because, let's have a look. Right, that is 806.75. 806.75. So we see we've now created equal highs. So this should be a place where price will want to trade up to, consider equal highs. Is a strong area of buy stops looking to be swept. So yeah, I'm gonna wait till that and we'll see how price reacts afterwards. The lower time frame price action isn't the nicest right now. On ES, NAS is still not the best either. But if I'd be looking for a proper breaker structure, if we break above and close above, or I'd like to see a wick really, probably be here, and the 5 minute I assume would be about here. Here. Yeah, that's correct. But I want to see the sweep of this as well. So now I know there's no more close, relevant buy side liquidity that needs to be swept. Cool. Cool. That's what I like to see. NAS, we're pushing up now. So yeah, I'll be back if anything interesting happens. ES is looking interesting right now. After sweeping these two highs, we've inversed this fair value gap, hoping to get a 1 minute, 2 minute market structure shift. Would it be a 3 minute? No, it'd be a 1 minute, 2 minute market structure shift. And then yeah, we'll see what happens there. ES is more the primary factor now, although NAS has swept some highs as well, but not as important as ES in my opinion. I want to see a close below these lows and we'll start seeing what we can do. Let's mark that out. No, I don't like that price action because I like to have a fair value gap left filled, not unfilled, sorry. Obviously when you see price action like this, it goes to show that there isn't enough bearish volume yet. Interesting. NAS doing the same thing. NAS is approaching daily previous highs. Well, I say approaching, it's kind of close to it. ES might wait till NAS does the same thing and then we'll get a push down. But we have a sweep of these highs here. Which is good to see. But see the importance of this wick, showing that it's a liquidity sweep and then a push up rather than a market structure shift. But yeah, I'm just going to be patient. I'm happy I haven't entered the trade yet. It is past 9:45 now, so it is the more optimal time to look for a trade. So yeah. We shall see what happens. Just wanted to note out, see this high here? Notice how every single candle is struggling to close above it. We're wicking above it, but just noticed couldn't close on it, closed on it, closed on it. Notice how the candles cannot close above it. This shows that there might be a change in volume. Obviously, I could be talking too premature, but that's what it does show, that there's a potential, bearish volume that's coming into the market. So yeah, on NAS, similar price action, but the context on the ES is much better to trade in my opinion. But yeah, I just wanted to note that out because it's quite an interesting thing to see. I also really want to compare how NAS and ES correlate with each other. As you can see, NAS had a massive move up to the liquidity where ES hasn't. We've been waiting here for quite a long time for NAS to catch up. You can probably see that this is pushing up now, but we was waiting quite a long time for NAS to push up, and while NAS had a lot more volume, now we've set weekly highs. That's a good thing we've just seen. Now we can start looking for something decent. I would like to price to go into this 1 hour order block. That'd be like A plus, but if not, no biggie. Okay, cool. We've entered the 1 hour order block. So 1 hour order block, sweeping weekly and daily highs, buys liquidity. Now all we need in the lower time frame is a market structure shift down and a retracing up. We've got an A plus set up. Obviously it doesn't happen. ES is looking like a big push up as well. Obviously it looked like it's some bearish momentum here, but now we're pushing up. We've got weekly highs up here. Maybe ES might go for that today. And yeah, but we'll just see what happens. I mean, there's no trade. I'm just waiting patiently for the setup to arise. Because for me, once it's midday, I don't trade. Because two things, lunchtime session, and I don't trade in the PM of New York. Obviously, for me, it'd be much later. It'd be 5 PM in the evening. So yeah. But I'm now looking for some downside momentum because we are quite overbought in the past few days. So I think it's time to maybe retrace down, fill in some inefficiencies, equilibrium, any sell-side liquidity that we need to take. First thing I want to look for is this fair value gap to be inversed. Then I want to see a breaker structure down here. It'll be a 1 minute and 2 minute breaker structure. So there's a bit of an alignment here. Then the 3 minute would be below, around here. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for at the moment. Then in a few seconds later, and we got a sharp push down, now showing the bearish momentum. I'm really hoping we get this breaker structure, showing that there is some bearish intentions to the downside. We are quite above minute opening price, and we are in an area where shorts would be quite prominent. So yeah, that's what I just wanted to add again. But yeah, see you soon. Got a few things now. We've had a sweep of this high. We're on NAS. Yes, we didn't, causing a bearish SMT. Got a displacement to the downside, inverse in this 1 minute fair value gap on ES. As you can see, that's the SMT. Now I'm wanting to have this break below here. We'll start looking. I'm tempted to enter now, but not all of my confidence has been hit yet. As we see, we close outside the inversion fair value gap as well. So yeah, we'll just have to see. Let's see what happens at this order block. Right, the 0.705 optimal trade entry area. We'll have to see. No, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Did not mean to do that, but we're in now. I was trying to set a limit, but clearly didn't. If we go to break even, I might have to close out. Okay, I'm closing out there. I don't care if the trade, if it goes down any further. I was trying to put a limit on, but it didn't do it. So it's a bit annoying, because ES is now going up, as we can see here. Still an SMT right now. I was trying to set a limit, but clearly when I press sell, it sold it. But yeah, maybe I was meant to put a stop order, not a limit order, but it is what it is. See how ES, the volume is not the same as NAS. It's a bit worrying, but yeah. But yeah, just to make it clear, I was trying to set a limit, not a market execution. But as I press sell, clearly just, yeah. Anyways, it's fine. We're not in any sort of danger now because we got our break even or whatever, a bit of profit, but that doesn't mean anything to me. But we are in this 1 minute order block, which I want to see a rejection from breaking structure to the downside. Look on ES. It's not doing what NAS is doing. And technically, it's still respecting this 2 minute fair value gap. Although we invest 1 minute, we respect the 2 minute. Okay, getting a push down now, but on ES we're just still not getting that push that we're getting on NAS. Let's try and inverse this fair value gap, and we'll start proper looking. Okay, okay, I like it, I like it, I like it. I like the volume. I'll put it as inverse for now. Obviously, if it doesn't get inverse, I'll put it back to fair value gap. Okay. Oh, did we close below it? Yeah, we did. Right. Two-minute we closed below it as well. That's nice. 3-minute not yet. Cool, we're in. Okay, let's have a look. Our targets, okay. Cool, interesting. All right. Alright, so we've been stopped out. That's fine. Seems like I'm actually going on a losing streak recently, because when I was in the hypothetical trades, like, you know, I was had some decent wins, but it seems like now, you know, seems that I'm going for a bit of a losing streak. So really quickly before I go into the recap, I've just noticed now clearly price wants to go higher to sweep the weekly highs of ES, which we've done. So that's fine. I do also feel that now price is probably going to come down into this fair value gap area here. But this could be a nice place to take a trade from, but I probably shouldn't. So yeah, let's get into trade recap. So, cool. So if we look on the hour, NAS sweeps the daily previous high and the weekly high. Cool. Then after that, as price does that, it goes into a 1 hour order block. Cool. Once I saw that, so on the 5 minute, it was quite hard to see any sort of market structure shift areas. So I went into the 1 minute and 2 minute and noticed on the 2 minute we inversed this fair value gap. Not only that, but these two highs here cause a bearish SMT on ES, because ES actually failed to break them highs. Which then led down to a market structure shift. So then I entered actually at the inversion fair value gap, stops at the highs, risk a bit less than 1%, and targeted down here. Price did go into profit for a little bit, and then it just went straight up, which is fine. It's just that I'm going on a bit of a losing streak recently, and see how now we got this. We kind of having a bit of a move down now on ES since we've swept those highs. My rule is really 3 to 4 losses at most in a week. We'll see now. Look, we are under 2% in drawdown, but about 1.8, 1.9%. Which is fine. Okay. So I've taken 2 proper losses this week. Maximum for me is really 3 or 4. Let's get rid of all that for now. Cool. There are these highs up here as well. Is this a untapped 1 hour order block? Maybe. That's interesting. If we tap into that and get it pushed down, that'd be pretty nice. Because we are now overbought. This is why I'm trying to short, because we are, in my opinion, overbought. We swept a lot of sell-side liquidity, buy-side liquidity, sorry. So yeah. What is the primary focus? I'm going to primarily focus on ES. But let's have a look here. He did a lot of bearish signs to show he was going down, but just ES wasn't coping, like wasn't doing like NAS was. Is what it is at the end of the day. Losses are losses. But yeah, I'll be back if anything happens. Alright, now that's probably it, as in looking for potential trades. Price just keeps going higher. There's no way I can run a move down. The thing is that I knew we was going to go sweep these highs today. I just didn't get the entry to do so. I mean, on ES, yeah, you could say actually this could have been an entry actually here. That and probably like an entry at this fair value gap here. Yeah, you could say that, but I was on ES at the time. I was on NAS at the time, sorry, and there wasn't an entry there at all. Yeah, even the 5 minutes, no entry. So yeah, see how I saved myself here from entering the trade, but it's fine. The trade I did take, in my opinion, was highly confluenced. Swept daily and weekly highs into a 1 hour order block, had a 1 minute market structure shift. And that's that really, but it's one of them things. I mean, maybe I should have treated this as the 1 minute market structure shift rather than this here, because if I did that I wouldn't have lost today, but it's fine. We had a highly confident trade, it just didn't go our way unfortunately, and that's the name of the game. So yeah, NAS we have now swept a lot of liquidity, going up, about to come into this 1 hour fair value gap, whereas in ES we are now at all-time highs. But it is one of them things, you know, what can you do about it? I mean, it is a bit frustrating in the sense of, you know, like, it's been constantly going up. Really, when the price is constantly been going up, usually it likes to have a bit of reversal to take any sell-side liquidity, or, you know, or rebalance price, but it just hasn't done that today. I've been constantly looking for like any sort of reversal confluences, but nothing's been happening. So yeah, it's one of them things at the end of the day. I can't really do anything about it. We're less than 2%, like we're about 1.8, 1.9% in drawdown, total drawdown. That could be made back in 1 or 2 winning trades. Tomorrow we've got news. I'm very confident that we're going to have a reversal today, especially after lunchtime session. But let's quickly just go to Forex Factory. What we'll see tomorrow is at 1:30, perfect. So we've actually got proper impact news. This week has taught me a lot that maybe I should be staying away from no news days, because these no news days, they don't give you what you want as in trade, and the volatility is really random. It's not nice to trade. So I've noticed on days of news it's actually quite nicer to trade. Price action's cleaner. It's more meaningful as well. But as we see, look, we just keep on moving up. I mean, Nasdaq, we're very close to that fair value gap. I might wait to see how price reacts off this fair value gap, but we're probably looking at price going to sweep these highs here soon. We've got 1 hour order block as well, but probably sweep these highs here and go to all-time highs. But I wasn't expecting price to go up as much as it actually has today. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, I'll probably be back to see what happens. Also, from that fair value gap, we have got a 1 minute, 2 minute market structure shift and a 3 minute. That's interesting. Same as ES, we're getting a good move down. Yeah, so really on ES we've only got a 1 minute market structure shift, but we are starting to move down now from that big push up. I'll be willing to take another trade. That means if I take anything, If I take four losses this week, that's it, I'm done. 3 losses in a row, then I'm done as well. So if I lose this trade, then I'm probably gonna have to take a break, probably. But this is the first kind of downside move we're seeing. There's a lot of liquidity we could target, internal liquidity we can target down here. I have seen that's been taught that at 12 PM there is sometimes a reversal. I like to see price into that fair value gap and then go down. Be nice if we get a break of these lows as well. I would like that retracement up because I'm confident price is now going to go down. So do this as well. just won't move out of the way. Okay, we're in. Right, so swept a whole lot of weekly, daily forms of buy-side liquidity. Had a market structure shift in the 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute. Retracement up equally with the range. Target in equilibrium with the 1 hour range. And yeah, we'll see what happens. If I lose, then I think that'll be it for the rest of the week. Or actually, no, I have one more trade after this, and if not, then that's it for the rest of the week. Yeah, that is the outlook right now. We are getting that 12 p.m. reversal. Sorry, we are in this 15-minute fair value gap as well, actually, which is a bit worrying. But based on high time frame factors, you know, 1 hour fair value gap after sweeping all that buy side liquidity, the first downwards market structure shift in ages. There is some probability there. Oh, stop loss is right in the wrong place there. Of course, we've been stopped at break even. What is happening? You know, shouldn't have really entered at lunchtime session, but to me, this is a really good setup. So what's happened is, for a massive push up, this is the recap, a massive push up, sweep of weekly highs, a bunch of buys of liquidity swept into a 1 hour fair value gap. After we get straight away a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute market structure shift. I enter off of equilibrium of the range, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. Price ends up shooting down, making a market structure shift from the 5 minute, gave me a lot of confidence, but then that market structure shift actually entered a 15 minute fair value gap. If I did how I do it a lot, I can't believe this. Are we going down now? If I put my stop loss at where the 15 minute fair value gap was, I'd have made 2%. Look at that. Can you believe this? Look, this shit is happening on purpose. Look, stopped at break even. Look, we're probably about to cause a market structure shift. Oh my god. Oh well, it's actually really annoying, I'll be real with you. That is annoying. Stopped at break even, pushed down, wow. But yeah, we was actually floating up 2% and a 5 minute market structure shift. Maybe I should have closed there. Because it was at 15 minute fair value gap as well. But it is what it is, and when I get stopped at break even, I actually lost $10. There, so I'm actually $525 down the day. It's 1% down. We're still under 2% drawdown on the whole account. I don't know what am I talking about. Under 3% drawdown, because 500 is 1%. Sorry, yes, we're over 2% in drawdown. My apologies. The maths is horrible. But yeah, it's quite an annoying day. I'm not going to blame it all fully on it being a no news day, but it does come into, like, it does factor a lot that there's not a lot of volatility and price action is actually really disgusting. And now it seems once it's been stopped at break even, maybe there's a lot of liquidity there and it's made a big push down. It is what it is at the end of the day, and yeah, I'm not going to end it here. I'm going to just wait and to see what price does, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So see you soon. Cool. So it's been a bit later on now. It's in the PM session, and we can see, and I got stopped out pricing. I come back into the break-even area again, and then actually hitting my take profit. So it is a bit annoying, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So yeah, that's it from me today. It's been a bit of an annoying day, but I'm never going to give up. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Really quickly before I go, actually, on to talk about the mistake I made today, which could have led me to make a good long position, and that is here, right? So London, we entered this 4 hour fair value gap. Fine, it wasn't equilibrium in the range, but we have to understand the external context where we're at, and then look at the lower time frames and clearly see that, you know, price wants to go up. What we could have seen is, remember when I was speaking about how price was like sweeping liquidity? What I noticed was then after this we closed below, to me thinking that like we was going to go further down, but obviously we didn't. Good thing I didn't enter anyway. What I then did notice, where is it? Yeah, so it wasn't really a properly good setup, but what I did notice is that we set this liquidity here in a massive push up. Maybe we need to understand in the sense of like context. We was in this 4 hour bullish fair value gap, and this is clearly like a kind of like a continuation from it, as we can see here. Go there to there. This is literally an optimal trade entry push. Goes into the optimal trade entry area and the Fibonacci like beautifully, and then pushes up. This could be quite a nice trade really, but didn't catch it. Yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. I just wanted to know that out as well. One of the mistakes I made. Understand that we was pushing off of a 4 hour fair value gap, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say.